Here in the United States, an 11th hour deal to avoid a massive trial against Big Pharma. Major opioid distributors reached a tentative $260 million settlement just ahead of trial for their role in the opioid crisis. Trevor Alt has that story in tonight's Spotlight.
Today, a federal court case with potentially massive impact on the opioid crisis was set to get underway. But this morning in court, the judge announcing he'd been alerted to a last-minute, middle-of-the-night settlement with 3 drug distributors and a drug manufacturer agreeing to pay 2 Ohio counties $260 million.
This settlement gives us hope that we'll be able to make significant impact on the issues that we face.
Those companies were being sued for their alleged role in contributing to the opioid addiction crisis. The latest data from the Department of Health and Human Services says 130 Americans died every day from opioid-related overdoses in 2017. Ohio had the second highest rate of any state in the country, more than double that national average. Monday's settlement involved Cuyahoga and Summit counties. This trial was expected to be a bellwether for more than 2,300 cases accusing drug companies of wrongdoing.
This is in a national emergency right now, and all counties, all municipalities, all villages need help right now to combat this crisis.
As part of the agreement, county officials plan to use the settlement money to directly combat the opioid epidemic, putting those funds toward treatment plans, care for kids whose parents died from overdoses, and criminal justice issues.
When people decide they need help, you need to get them help immediately, and this is going to give Summit and Cuyahoga County the opportunity to do just that.
And that was Trevor Alt reporting. One of the companies in Monday's case, pharmacy chain Walgreens, did not reach a settlement. The trial for that case could proceed in a few months. For more on the opioid crisis and the firms accused, we're joined by Marie Napoli, lawyer and founding partner of Napoli Kaiser Byrne LLP. Marie, so this is the first settlement in a string of what are expected to be more and more trials. But I heard you say it before we were talking. I heard Trevor Alt say it in his report. It's a bellwether. Explain why.
So this is what they do in the mass tort industry. They pick a couple of cases as a bellwether, which will be a typical case, to kind of give everybody an idea of what these cases are going to settle for. So this amount, it seems like a high number, but when you see what's going on in our country and the amount of expense each of our counties are putting forward to fight this epidemic, some of them are putting forward a third of their entire budget. It seems more reasonable when you understand that. So this is important because it will give other parties future guidelines as to what these cases settle for.
And these cases, in terms of a what's next, what can people who watch this and care about this, people affected by it, what are they looking for next?
Well, it should give people some hope because the cases that settled today, they were actually the counties that have been paying for the additional police forces, the additional hospitalizations, the additional training you need for the Narcan, for the body bags, for the court expenses that have been draining these people dry. And people who are actually addicted are now going to be able to find more help because they're going to be more money in these counties to actually help these people.
This is Cuyahoga County in Ohio. Ohio, the second worst state for this. As you look around the country, does this then become a national, I wouldn't say a cure, but a national way of addressing this? Is it happening in all 50 states?
It is, and this is a framework. This settlement here today is a framework for future counties. We handle all the counties in New York State as well, in front of Judge Gargiulo out in Suffolk County, and they did the same thing. They brought it to one county for discovery and would go back to the individual counties for trial. But that case will probably come up March 2020. So that would be another bellwether kind of case just like this. So as these go along, it will give both sides more and more information on how to settle them.
Marie Napoli, thank you for being here and also for your advocacy and what is a problem all across this country.
Thank you very much for having me.
Appreciate it. And now a look at some other stories we're following.